Welcome back. This is Tredius with another quick and dirty rebuild. This time around, we're going to be doing the Pittsburgh Steelers, led by their quarterback, Kenny Pickett. First things first, I have simmed the game, and we are now in the 2022 season. Of course, this is not the correct schedule, but be that as it may, this is going to be a rebuild that's going to be spanning across a few seasons. What is a quick and dirty rebuild? Just getting the team to a Super Bowl win as quickly as possible. So that's basically the gist of it. So what I did is I loaded in a roster file including all of the draft picks from the 2022 draft. And then I just made sure that all of the players are still at the club, giving everybody a contract extension and making sure that we start with the same roster that the Steelers have in real life right now. So there are some things that may be different. For instance, the age. Of course, Kenny Pickett in real life is 23. In the game here, he's 24. He already has 1 year experience. Of course, that's because the game starts in 2021. But we will not let ourselves be stopped by that. So let's take a quick look at Kenny Pickett, the quarterback. He's a star dev in this roster file, currently sitting at 80. He started out with a 75. I left him at normal dev to slow him down a bit in his development, but 1 year gave him 5 overall points in addition. So yeah, I think it's pretty accurate at the moment. He's not crazy good, but he has talent, and he is the best quarterback at the Steelers at the moment. I don't think that Mitch Trubisky is going to be ranked above him. His movement stats as well as his core attributes are pretty accurate, I think. He seems to be pretty good in the pocket. Of course, he will have to prove that in the real life in the NFL, but I do think that this representation is pretty accurate. Behind him, we've got Mitch Trubisky, who was the starting quarterback going into the season after Ben Roethlisberger left the Steelers and retired. Chris Oladokun was another pick from the 2022 draft. I'm not really sure which draft pick he was, to be precise, but I keep thinking that he was the final draft pick, yeah, just sort of an addition. He seems to be a pretty well-developed quarterback and something of a utility player, to put it mildly. And then we've got Mason Rudolph in there as well, 27 years old, 65 overall. By the way, I left Chris Oladokun at a normal dev trade. Don't think he warrants anything higher. Halfback, of course, is Najee Harris, 24 years old, superstar dev trade. He's an absolute machine. I loved him in my other rebuild of the Pittsburgh Steelers that I did. And of course, that was before the draft. Didn't know that they were going to go for Kenny Pickett. All the reports indicated that he would be going to the Carolina Panthers. So that's what I did in my rebuild. But yeah, there we go. Real life was different. Behind Najee Harris, we've got Benny Snell, who's a solid halfback. Anthony McFarland and Mateo Durant, who is also from the draft. He's a 22-year-old rookie from Duke, and his rating's actually not looking that bad. Especially his physical stats are very good: speed, acceleration, agility, and change of direction. And the core stats for a halfback, the break tackle carrying, the vision, the juke move, all of these are pretty well developed as well, and will be breaking the 75 pretty quickly. Trucking, stiff arm strength, of course, lacking, and that's what is pushing his overall down. The secondary attributes looking good so far. Catching traffic, catching, that's what's important. Of course, his route running is woeful, as are run block, impact blocking, and so on. So definitely and rightfully the last one in the lineup for the halfbacks. We do have a dedicated fullback. I always like that. Also a rookie, Connor Hayward. He's right now the number 7 ranked fullback in the game, mostly due to the fact that there's not that many really good fullbacks in the game, to be honest. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. He's at a Michigan State, of course. He has a normal depth trait. I think that's a realistic setup here. The wide receiver room is pretty big and quite diverse, to be honest. Leading it is Deontay Johnson, superstar depth trait, 26 years old, out of Toledo. Very solid looking, very well developed here, especially the core attributes, absolutely beautiful. He has been with the Pittsburgh Steelers for the past years now, so definitely a veteran there. Chase Claypool with a star depth trait, 24 years old, out of Notre Dame. Again, for his age and his overall, all of those stats are looking really good. Quick improvements should go towards carrying, change of direction, and stiff arm. But apart from that, he is looking really nice and well developed. Pretty dangerous there. Anthony Miller is the next wide receiver. He's 27, 75 overall. Physical stats are good. But of course, a few stats dropping off and dragging him down. But the 75 is actually pretty misleading because it's only run block, pass block, impact blocking, and trucking that are so bad that are really dragging him down. The core attributes are all well developed. George Pickens, another pick from the draft. He has quite good ratings. Of course, a lot of improvement to be had here. And I will be giving him the star depth trait simply because I think that he actually deserves that. He is one of the exciting wide receivers in the class of 2022, and just to get his development up a bit quicker. Miles Boykin, 25 years old, 73 overall. The next wide receiver here. Strong physical stats, but then his route running is a bit lacking. Release also a bit lacking. So we could argue here, but he's 25 years old and he should be improving. Stephen Sims, same goes for him. He's got solid physical stats, a bit better on the short and deep route, but down here trucking, stiff arm, run block, pass block, impact blocking low, and dragging his overall down. Should be improving nicely. Calvin Austin, another one from the draft. He's got a normal depth trait. I think that's accurate. Very quick speed and acceleration, both 97, agility 85. So should be a versatile weapon once he develops a bit more. Gunnar Olzevsky, what a name right there. He's 25 years old, 68 overall. Yeah, not too crazy about him. There are quite a few in here that I would like to move to the practice squad once the regular season starts. Johnny Dixon, 27 years old, out of Ohio State, 67 overall. There you go. Well, he's in there as well. Not too exciting in my eyes. And Cody White, finally, 23 years old, 64 overall. So quite a few wide receivers in here. The tight end is Pat Freiermuth, of course, 23 years of age. Star depth trait and an 82 overall. Really liking him. He was very good the last time when I did that rebuild. He's just a typical tight end, if you want to put it that way. He's big, he's tough, and yeah, he can hold on to the ball pretty well. Zach Gentry, the next one, and finally Kevin Rader. But of course, focus is Pat Freiermuth here. Left tackle, we've got Dan Moore. There's only one here. So there's no dedicated backup for Dan Moore. Again, the 73, a bit misleading because the core attributes that are really important for the left tackle are actually well developed here with strength, run block power, lead block, impact blocking, and awareness. So yeah, pretty happy with him. To start out, left guard Kevin Dotson is injured at the moment. I don't think that's accurate, but he'll be back for the beginning of regular season, so we won't bother with the injury here. He's solid, good strength, run block power, lead block, and impact blocking are good, pass block power and awareness. So if you combine that with the acceleration, I'm happy with him as a starter. BJ Finney will be taking over in one preseason game. The center is Kendrick Green, 23 years old, normal depth trait out of Illinois, 73 overall. He's got good strength, good lead block and impact blocking. The run block power is okay, and awareness as well. And then there's quite a few attributes that simply need to improve. Run block finesse will be into the green 70s quickly. And then we've got 3 that we really need to improve, and that's pass block finesse, and pass block power, of course. Apart from that, nothing more to be said about him. Mason Cole is his backup, 26 and 68. That's a good setup that I can work with. Right guard, James Daniels and John LeGlue. James Daniels also started, 24 years old, out of Iowa. His rating's very nice at that age especially, and already the number 9 ranked right guard in the game. So a good player to start with here. And right tackle, we've got Chukwuma Okorafor, 25 years old, 74 overall. He's only a normal depth trait, but again, the core attributes that we really need are there. And yeah, to begin our journey, I think there's no immediate need to do something here. Joe Haig is his backup, and that's all he is, a backup. Left edge, Stephon Tuitt, of course, 87 overall, star depth trait, 29 years, Notre Dame, a veteran, number 9 ranked left end. So again, good player to start with. Is he my final left edge that I'm going to be working with for the complete journey? I'm not sure. Don't think so. Injury is not that solid, so it might turn sour pretty quickly when he gets injured. Also, he's 29 and at 87, so he might start declining. It's only star def. Behind him, we've got, what a beautiful name with a double H, Isaiah Loudermilk. There we go. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Normal depth trait, 67 overall. His ratings are, yeah, nothing special at all. A few good stats in there, but that's about it. So nothing more than a backup for me. I think we will have to address this come the end of this season. Right edge, Cameron Hayward, superstar, 33 years of age. He's even a superstar X Factor, so that's very good. 95 overall, 6th ranked right end in the game. Yeah, I couldn't ask for more at the moment at that position. Speed and agility, of course, due to his age, are not that high anymore, but everything else is really rock solid. So very, very good here. Of course, he's been with the Pittsburgh Steelers for such a long time, and yeah, he simply is a veteran. We will have to act here at the end of this season. His backup, Henry Mondo, certainly no player for the future here. 26, 67 overall. We're not going to get him up into the high 70s, and I would need a player in the high 70s to really compete. D tackle is Tyson Alwalu, 35, 77 overall. Normal depth trait, yeah, definitely an area where we will have to do something. Behind him, we've got DeMarvin Lil, 74 overall, with a normal depth trait. D tackle out of Texas A&M. He was also from the 2022 draft, and I think he's a very solid player. His core attributes, strength, block shedding, power moves, tackle, play recognition, are really solid. Awareness, speed, acceleration will be hitting the 75 area and going into the green area, so that's nice as well. Finesse moves, not that developed, but that's something we can focus upon. And in the secondary attributes, it's clearly impact blocking that needs improvement. But again, pursuit might be pushed at the moment by morale, but still very, very well developed, very stable, very high injury rating, so that's a positive. And I think I will be making him the starter straight away. Montravius Adams, backup here. DeMarcus Christmas, beautiful name as well. Another backup, and Carlos Davis as well. So yeah, we'll take a look at that in the setup later on. Another star player, of course, TJ Watt, 27 years old, superstar X Factor. Just a fantastic left outside linebacker, the best in the game at the moment. So of course, super happy with him right out of that position, because that just gives our defense, a lot of punch. Gennard Avery and Derek Tuska also in there, two backups, nothing more than that. I would say that Gennard Avery is a solid backup, but of course we could do better, just to be on the safe side. Next area of the defense that I really like are the mid linebackers. Miles Jack leading the room here with a star def trait, number 3 ranked middle linebacker, and just look at those stats. He's super solid, block shedding and strength, will be up in no time, and basically it's just power moves and press that are dragging him down a little bit, but he's 26 out of UCLA and will be improving further. Devin Bush out of Michigan out of Michigan, an ex-Wolverine right there. Star dev, 24 years old. I really like him. I saw him in an Amazon Prime series of All or Nothing where they followed the Michigan Wolverines. It was actually quite interesting. There were quite a few current NFL players in that group, and it was very interesting just to see them there and follow the development into the NFL. But yeah, I really like him. He's rock solid at mid linebacker. He's young. He's gonna be improving, so that's great. Next up, Robert Spillane, Ulysses Gilbert III, Mark Robinson, and Christian Kuntz. Mark Robinson also a rookie. You can see that he's got experience 1, meaning that he's been a rookie last season. Right outside linebacker, Alex Highsmith, 25 years old, 79 overall, also star def trait. Yeah, on a good path, I would say. The key attributes are there that I always look for, which are tackle, pursuit, acceleration, and speed. I do like agility and strength in there as well, and those are okay-ish. But again, 25 years old, star def, he will be improving greatly. Buddy Johnson, 23 years old, 70 overall. He does have a normal def trait, but let's not let that detract from the fact that he's a backup and 23 years old, so he will be improving quickly. Marcus Allen, finally, the third right outside linebacker. Next up, the cornerback room. Bit of a mixed bag right there, let's be honest. We've got a Keller Witherspoon, normal def trait. He's the highest ranked corner, so that is definitely an area that we want to be looking at. 27 years old, out of Colorado, and yeah, okay. Tackle, of course, is woeful. Catching should be better for a corner, but everything else is okay to start with. I do think that we need to act at this position. Levi Wallace, next one, 27 years old, out of Alabama, 79 overall, similar situation. I would say it's okay to start with. Next up, Cameron Sutton. He does have pretty good physical stats with acceleration, speed, agility right there. But yeah, still also not really that high up in the rating. Justin Lane, 72 overall, normal def trait, 24 years old, out of Michigan State. It's only the physical stats that are good here, as well as press. Everything else just needs to improve over time. He's 24, so he has the time. And finally, James Pierre, the same goes for him as for Justin Lane. These two up here, actually, to be honest, these three here, yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye out for them. 27 is not that bad, but they are normal def traits, meaning that they won't be improving as far. Free safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick, another superstar on the team here, 25 years old, out of Alabama, number 2 ranked free safety, and yeah, just brilliant stats. I can excuse the block shedding and the lower tackle rating here because everything else is just so good. So he's going to be closing down the players super quick, getting across the field, and yeah, awareness is very high. So definitely feeling safe with him. And Trey Norwood is his backup here. Normal def trait, 23 years old, out of Oklahoma. And yeah, he is physical, meaning he's quick, but that's about it. And the strong safety room, we've got Terrell Edmunds, who is the starting strong safety, of course, 25 years old, out of Virginia Tech, 4 years of experience. So actually that would be 3 years. He's quick, he's fast, he's good in the tackle, play recognition is high, man coverage is high as well, meaning that these two will be moving into the 70s, into the high 70s within a season. That's good. And then we've got block shedding, which is dragging him down a little bit as our power moves and finesse moves. And catching, of course, I would like to see that a bit higher. But for the moment, he's a very good starter, should be improving. His backup is Carl Joseph, who at 28 and 76 is not going to be starting at any rate, but he's a good backup, and I can definitely see that. Finally, we've got Andrew Sorrow, who doesn't have a face, and at 26 and 67 overall, I don't think that he will be improving as quickly to really compete with these two. Our kicker is Chris Boswell, 82 overall, 31 years of age, and our punter is Presley Harbin, the third. He's 23 years old, 74 overall, so he will be with us for a long time, and I do like that. In the punters, starting pretty low. And what I do like about him, let me just show you that, is his kick power. I mean, 94 kick power at 24, that's great. So basically all we need to focus on in training is kick accuracy, and that's going to be fantastic for us. So happy with him, great punter right there. Brandon Wright, yeah, we're not going to be renegotiating with him when the time comes. The draft picks, let me just show you the 2023 draft picks. You may be wondering why I have so many draft picks from other teams. That is because I traded away all of the picks from the simulated draft because all of the rookies were already on the team. So I just gave the 2022 draft picks away so that we can pick a bit more in the 2023 draft. 2024 is normal again, if you want to put it that way. Okay, so we have taken stock of the roster. We will be heading forward, and see you at the beginning of the regular season. Okay, so we are in week 1 of our first regular season, having taken stock of the team, and I have upgraded the players. I have given us no season goal yet. We're going to do that together. So I think with this squad, with this defense, I think it's a realistic goal that we should be making the playoffs. I am feeling very adventurous right now, so let's go with that. Since this is a quick and dirty rebuild, I will be simming to the end of the season, and we'll just see what happens in between. So I will be taking no part in whatever the team does or doesn't do at the end of the 2022 regular season. The Steelers stand at 10 and 7 in the AFC North. It was quite an bumpy season, up and downs, weird losses, close wins, but overall there were more wins than losses, which is definitely a good sign for one of these quick and dirty rebuilds that usually start out with pretty bad teams and just terrible results all over the board. Okay, quick season recap. Just take a look back at the season. The Super Bowl was battled out between the Baltimore Ravens and the New Orleans Saints, with the Ravens and their quarterback Lamar Jackson being victorious. The MVP was Christian McCaffrey for the Panthers. Coach of the Year, that's always a chuckle, Urban Meyer. Offensive Player of the Year was Christian McCaffrey. Defensive Player George Karlaftis, very nice. Offensive Rookie Peter Holloman and Alani Riddick. Of course, those were from the just simulated draft 2022 and our fictional players. Player negotiation time. We have had quite a few contracts expiring that we needed to take care of. We re-signed Minkah Fitzpatrick, of course. We're not going to re-sign Stephon Tuitt, just a bit too expensive, and just to get him on a 1-year deal, not really worth the hassle. I feel Deontay Johnson, we re-signed, of course, despite his injury. I think that he'll be with us for the next 4 years and productive the next 3. Chris Boswell, our kicker. I will be thinking about that with you. Devin Bush, of course, contract extension given. Cameron Sutton, we're going to let him go. 28.77, not really feeling that like he brings that much to the team. We did renegotiate with Benny Snell, Connor Hayward, Miles Boykin. No new offer for Steven Sims. Chukwuma Okorafor, interestingly, didn't want to re-sign with us. I'm not going to franchise tag him, just too expensive. James Pierre, not going to re-sign him. 26.73, not really worth it. We re-signed Jannard Avery. I know he's older than James Pierre here and lower, but I need him as a backup, and I think that the cornerback room really needs a complete makeover. Justin Lane was re-signed. He's 25, so that's okay for me. 75 overall, so decent backup. Mitch, sorry man, you're not getting a contract extension here. We are set. BJ Finney, no contract extension. Mateo Durant, interestingly, didn't want to re-sign with us, but that's okay with me. No contract for Zach Gentry, Mason Cole, Henry Mondeau, Mason Rudolph, Joe Haig, and John Leglue. So quite a few players that we are letting go, and quite a few positions that we will be refilling anew. Okay, so we're putting free agency bids out for Jason Kelsey as a starting center. If I could bring him in front of Green, that would give Green time to develop, and we've got a solid center in there, no questions asked. Going in hot for Sean Murphy-Bunting. I'd really like to bring him in to lead the cornerback room, and would give us the ability to really get a bit more quality in there. Rodrigo Blankenship for our vacant kicker position. Deshaun Hand as a backup for the right edge position. Corey Hayward will be leaving the Steelers quite quickly now. Sky Moore, just an addition to the wide receiver room. I really think that the young wide receiver could bring some quality in there. Kate Mays is a backup, of course, for the right guard position. That's why we're lowballing him pretty toughly. Tight end John Fitzpatrick. If I bring him in, 25 years old, 72 overall, he will be an immediate improvement over Raider. So that's definitely something that we're looking for. And finally, right tackle Roy Mbaiteka. He will be slotting in as a backup, and I will be bringing in another right tackle. I already have some ideas. Right, a quick deal. We are sending 3 wide receivers that we will not be using to the Bills, receiving next year's draft pick 172 in the 6th round. All right, next deal done. We are sending our left edge Isaiah Loudermilk and our veteran Corey Hayward to the Eagles, and receiving 2 right ends, one of which will be converting to a left edge, of course. We're receiving Josh Sweat and Greg Johnston. Till then, we are sending 3 players that we will never be using to the Falcons, receiving a 7th round pick, just clearing some cap space right there. We are sending our corner Witherspoon, right outside linebacker Allen, and a strong safety Soro to the Jets. We are receiving Elijah Vera Tucker, a left guard. All right, another deal done. We are sending our corner Wallace to the Broncos and receiving Michael Ojemudia and Patrick Autry, 2 corners for our cornerback room. Right, another deal done. We are sending Terrell Edmunds, tight end Raider, and a 2nd round pick to the Browns, receiving Ronnie Harrison Jr., 86 overall, and a higher depth trade. Time for our first draft recap in this quick and dirty rebuild of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Our first pick, of course, was Kelly Ringo, corner. We needed to improve the quarterback room. He's got a hidden depth trait. Rookie out of Georgia, 20 years old, 75 overall already. So hopeful that he has a good depth trait that is hidden right there. And yeah, very athletic. You can see that straight away. Everything else needs to be improved. but I'm confident that this will turn out a great choice. Next up was Paris Johnson Jr., also a hidden depth trait, 21 years old, out of Ohio State, and he is looking pretty solid already. Good strength, run block finesse, pass block finesse, lead block, impact blocking, run block power, and so on and so forth. So great choice there, very happy with him. Next up, Will McDonald the fourth. He is a left edge. He will be a backup there for the moment, but he will be improving. He's got a normal depth trait, so shouldn't be improving too quickly, but yeah, we can work with that. Marvin Mims, wide receiver, 20 years old rookie out of Oklahoma. He has a hidden depth trait and already pretty quick, very solid looking. Can't wait to see what that depth trait is. Left tackle Broderick Jones out of Georgia as well, 66 overall, a backup player if I ever saw one. Will Mallory, tight end out of Miami, 68 overall, one for the tight end room after we cleared that out a little bit. Tony Grimes, cornerback as well, 68 overall, rookie out of North Carolina, strong physical stats, still has to improve in all of the other categories. Jaden Reed, 4th round pick, rookie out of Michigan State, 67 overall, wide receiver as well, and going straight into the practice squad, although 67 looks a bit pressed down by some of those red attributes. I think overall he's not as bad as he may look at first sight. John Emery Jr. Out of LSU, 67 overall, one for the halfback room. Again, don't think that it really does him any justice, but there we go. Taraja Mitchell, mid linebacker, Ohio State, 64 overall. Key attributes are there, of course, speed, pursuit, acceleration, strength, awareness, hit power. Tackle is going to improve pretty quickly. And apart from that, solid pick. Connor Galvin, right tackle, 69 overall. Already looking very solid in the core attributes. We definitely need some depth at those positions. Tashawn Manning, also a right guard, rookie out of Kentucky. A bit less solid, but still happy with the strength right there. Mookie Cooper, brilliant name as well. Wide receiver, there you go. High speed, acceleration, and agility, jumping. So very athletic as well. Medium deep route, not really the strength, but he's good in the spectacular catch and the release. Ladarius Tennyson, rookie out of Auburn, 61 overall. Yeah, nothing special right there. He was in the 7th round. And finally, Bo Nix, the quarterback, 22 years of age, out of Oregon. Nothing more than a backup quarterback for the backup quarterback. But good throw power if you want to look for a positive, and throw on the run is also in there. The beginning of the 2023 season, after the draft has completed and we have sorted all our team positions, we are now in the first week facing the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're going to be setting the season goal now. Of course, the playoffs are the target here for the Pittsburgh Steelers and their newly set team. Let's take a quick look at the squad and how it has been set up. There's one thing of note here. Moore Jr. is currently injured for 2 more weeks. After that, he will be moving up at the left tackle, and Paris Johnson Jr. will be moving over to right tackle. Apart from that, the face of our offensive line has changed a little bit. We've now got Elijah Vera Tucker here from the Jets, Dotson behind him, so that's a positive. Jason Kelsey's going to be our strong center here, and Pat Fryermuth still the tight end. Our wide receiver core has changed a little bit, mostly in the nether regions back there. Sky Moore and Marcus Mims, of course, are in there. Defense has changed a little bit in Devin Bush, who has lost his star dev trait. I'm not quite sure why, but yeah, I'm just going to take that with a grain of salt. I really like the look of the quarterback room at the moment, led by Michael Ojemudia. And on the other side, we've got Keely Ringo, 76 overall, and a hidden depth trait. So gonna be excited to find out what that is. The edges have been improved quite a bit, made younger, prepared for the future. We've got Leal at D-tackle, of course, and Ronnie Harrison Jr. as our strong safety. Special teams, we've got Rodrigo Blankenship as the kicker, and everything else has been taken care of as well. And the practice squad has been filled with all of those picks and players that we don't really need anymore in the main squad. I'm a bit sad that Austin didn't find any space in there, but yeah, he was just the lowest ranked wide receiver. So yeah, without any further ado, let us head into the new season. We're at the end of the 2023 regular season, and the Steelers are at 10-7 again, but this time we actually made it into the wildcard round. We will be playing the Buffalo Bills and then heading on towards the divisional rounds. Okay, it's the divisional playoff now. We beat the Buffalo Bills 35-7 in quite a decisive game. I completely simmed it. The quick and dirty rebuilds are focused on moving through the seasons and getting to the Super Bowl quickly, so I only sim the games. In realistic rebuilds, I do take my time and do the in-game simulation. But yeah, we're looking very good here. Very dominant, to be honest. And player stats, beautiful here. Kenny Pickett throwing for 2 touchdowns, 193 yards. And yeah, pretty solid. All in all, 73 completion rate. The rushing, of course, always such a strong point for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Najee Harris, Benny Snell, and John Emery Jr. chipping in. Kenny Pickett down there as well with a few yards. And the receiving, it was Pat Freiermuth, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, and Najee Harris down here as well. So very good display here, and I do think that our defense played a major part here with Deshaun Hand and TJ Watt chipping in on the sacks. Pittsburgh Steelers have beaten the Browns 31-0. As I said, I'm simming these games completely. Wasn't really expecting such dominance, but I'm gonna take it. Never seen a complete blowout, lockout, whatever you want to call it. But looking pretty impressive, to be honest, right there. Player stats. Oladokun played, obviously, right? That's interesting. Can Pickett pick up an injury? Nope. Okay. He did play for a few snaps, so that's all right with me. 179 yards for Kenny Pickett. So very nice job right there. Even more by Deshaun Watson. That's interesting. Obviously, at the Browns now, rushing Najee Harris. Such a great job. Nick Chubb and then Benny Snell. But Najee Harris, an absolute beast, 160 yards. As a receiving goes, we can see that Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool and everybody did chip in a little bit. Pat Freiermuth, George Pickens, and John Fitzpatrick. So a lot of players chipping in right there. Most prominent player for the Browns was Amari Cooper here, and David Njoku, and Donovan Peoples-Jones. Also, where was this game decided then? Myles Garrett, 2.5 sacks. Wow. TJ Watt, 2 sacks. Jadeveon Clowney, Johnston, Highsmith. A lot of sacks in the game. Any interceptions? Yeah. 2 by Deshaun Watson, and 1 from our side. I think that was Kenny Pickett that threw it. But never mind, we're going to take it. Next up, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the conference champions. It was a closer game this time, 24 versus 29 from the Kansas City Chiefs viewpoint. Let's take a look here. Seemed to be a pretty even game up until the fourth quarter, when the Steelers managed to get ahead by 5 points in comparison to the other quarters. But overall, I mean, it's just 5 points difference. So the Chiefs, a tough team to play against. Nearly every stat is on their side. There were 3 turnovers, so that's positive for us. And then, yeah, more time in possession. Actually, seemed to be a pretty tough game. Patrick Mahomes throwing for 364 yards. Wow. But 0 touchdowns. That's weird. Kenny Pickett 4 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes 3 interceptions, 2 sacks. What was the completion rate? 66 for Kenny Pickett, 73 Patrick Mahomes. All right, we're gonna take that as it is. Najee Harris again leading those yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire trying to follow up here. Patrick Mahomes rushing 32 yards, more than Benny Snell. And Kenny Pickett also chipping in. So rushing towards us clearly, and receiving definitely led by the Kansas City Chiefs players. DeMarco Matthews, Travis Kelce, Tre'Quan Smith, George Pickens, then finally Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris, Chase Claypool, and so on and so forth. Whew. Must have been a tough game. How many sacks? George Karlaftis recording 2 sacks. TJ Watt 1. Devin Bush, Alex Highsmith chipping in as well. So 2 sacks overall. What about interceptions? TJ Watt, Michael Ojemudia, Ronnie Harrison Jr. All right, very nice. We'll be facing the Green Bay Packers. All right, Super Bowl Sunday, guys. The Pittsburgh Steelers playing against the Green Bay Packers. And this could be the end of this quick and dirty rebuild already. The team's standing at a solid 92 overall. So on paper, we are better already. Let's take a quick look at the Packers roster. I'm starting with the quarterback. We've got Jordan Love. All right, that's the first surprise right there. Well, that's the first surprise. All right. So we've got Jordan Love with the superstar depth trait, replacing Aaron Rodgers. Right? Did not see that coming, but good on him. Next up, we've got Skylar Thompson. Funnily enough, he's the quarterback that I picked up in free agency in the LA Rams franchise to be a backup quarterback for Matt Stafford, who's still going strong. So that's the quarterback situation. The halfback is Aaron Jones, very solid, superstar at a 99, 28 years old, and super well-rounded, extremely dangerous. AJ Dillon, Larry Butler, and Javier Sears completing the halfback room. Fullback is Nick Bawden. Wide receiver Alan Lazard. He is a superstar, age 27, 88 overall. But don't let that 88 fool you. He's extremely dangerous. Cedric Wilson, Christian Watson, Tyler Johnson, N'Keal Harry, Mari Rogers. Also in there, a stacked wide receiver room, a lot of quality. Tight end is Robert Tonyan. He's a star depth, 29 years old, and looking pretty strong, especially in the catch. Josiah DeGuara, Dominic Daphne, also in there in the tight end room. David Bakhtiari, 99 rated, superstar, 31 years old, number 1 ranked left tackle in the game. All right. Yeah, he's going to make life difficult for the defense. Elkton Jenkins, 96 overall, and John Runyan behind him, star depth, 27 years old, number 3 ranked left guard. Center is Josh Myers, the first player that's not in his 90s, but still very solid, high strength rating, impact blocking, lead block. John Michael Schmitz, from the draft. Royce Newman is here, first player below 80. So that's something, I guess. Right tackle Rob Havenstein, well, we know him from the LA Rams franchise. Did let him go ultimately. Traded him for Sam Cosmi. Had to be. Left edge Dean Lowry, 83 overall. Nolan Smith, his backup. Right edge Devontae Wyatt. And Zach Allen is his backup. Devontae Wyatt, the star dev, 85 overall. Kenny Clark, of course, super dangerous. The superstar D tackle, number 4 ranked defensive tackle in the league. Randall Kellum and Deshaun McCutcheon, the backups here. Randall Kellum, 85 already with a 23 overall. 23 years of age, 85 overall already. I'm just super impressed. That's very high for a rookie. Rashawn Gary, the left outside linebacker. Jonathan Garvin, his backup. Rashawn Gary, superstar X Factor, also out of Michigan. He was also in that All or Nothing series on Amazon Prime, along with Devin Bush. Also an impressive player, and already back then, an impressive guy. Mid linebacker Chris Barnes, of course, and Ernest Jones, who seems to have traded here from the LA Rams recently. Yeah, just recently traded here at an 80. Merlin Robertson, Noah Taylor, the backups, and Chris Barnes, star dev, and the 13 ranked mid linebackers. And that's a tough mid linebacking core. These two young as well. Right outside linebacker Preston Smith, 83 overall. JC Gore, his backup. Cornerback Jair Alexander, superstar X Factor corner. He is absolutely disgusting to play against. Speed, man coverage, zone coverage, play recognition, acceleration, agility, press, so high, in the high 90s. Alright, that's tough. Awareness 99 as well. Mike Hilton, Eric Stokes, Shamar John Charles, and Emmanuel Forbes completing the room here. Free safeties, Darnell Savage and Alfonso Peters. Darnell Savage, of course, also a star dev trade. And super high ratings all across the board. Strong safety, Adrian Amos, 94 star dev, number 6 ranked strong safety. Whew. All right, Vernon Scott, his backup. Kicker Ryan Santoso, and Tommy Townsend is the punter. We will be heading into the game. I will be simming this game in-game and then jumping in. Will not be simming this game in quick sim. All right, keep your fingers crossed. Off we head into the first Super Bowl for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Kenny Pickett era. The Super Bowl is underway. The Pittsburgh Steelers are playing against the Green Bay Packers. And we are following the game here at a steady pace. Okay, I think I will have to get the speed up a little bit. All right, the game is underway. Pittsburgh Steelers on the board already. 10-7 in the second quarter. Who will take the lead? 17-7 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 31-7. Wow, what a game. 31-14 in the third quarter. Going back and forth here. 38 on the board. The Pittsburgh Steelers in the fourth quarter. Let us head into the game right now. All right, let's just get a feel for the team on the field here. Let me just show you the team as it is looking like on the field. The Steelers have done absolutely fantastic. 41-17 already in the fourth quarter with a minute to go. Najee Harris here going for a run. Feeling so fluidly. Really fantastic. And I did really not expect such a high difference here when only simming the game. This is actually quite the difference here. That is the score here. We're going to be going with Kenny Pickett now, looking for George Pickens on the right-hand side here. Let's just see how those players perform. And George Pickens, what a speed! Jesus Christ, did you see the speed pickup there as he went for the angled run? And Kenny Pickett, what a great throw towards the left-hand side here. Chase Claypool was the option on the right. and George Pickens on the left. As we will be kicking for a field goal here, Oladokun holding the ball. This is just for me, you know, this is just Rodrigo Blankenship putting the ball between the sticks. What a nice surprise here. Finally, the Pittsburgh Steelers win the Super Bowl 44-17. And Kenny Pickett cannot believe it. So let's take a quick look at the player stats here. Very good rating for Kenny Pickett here, obviously. 41 attempts, 23 completions, 316 yards, 56% completion rate, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Jordan Love did have 3. So maybe that was the difference made here. Rushing. Let's see how many yards the leader got. It was Najee Harris, of course, 88 yards, 1 touchdown. Aaron Jones, 41. Benny Snell, 21. And Kenny Pickett rushed for 17 yards again. Very nice. Very nice. Receiving, Pat Frymouth, the leader. Chase Claypool as well. George Pickens. Of course, that was the pass I threw at the end. But, yeah. Everybody chipping in. Blocking seemed to work well as well. Just see the sacks. TJ Watt with 2.5 sacks in one game. Ernest Jones and Devontae Wyatt as well. Greg Johnston and Alex Highsmith chipping in as well. Ernest Jones picking up an injury there. That's never positive. Time for the season recap. The 9-time AFC champion, the Pittsburgh Steelers, have beaten the Green Bay Packers, 6-time NFC champion. The quarterback, Kenny Pickett, was the Super Bowl MVP. Well deserved, I would say. The overall MVP was Patrick Mahomes. Urban Meyer, once again Coach of the Year. I don't know what it is with Madden and Urban Meyer, but he's there almost every season, every game. Patrick Mahomes was the Offensive Player of the Year. George Karlaftis, Defensive Player of the Year. CJ Stroud, the quarterback from the 2023 draft, was the Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Texans. And the defensive rookie for the Jets was Jalen Carter, D-tackle. Let's take a final look at the team that won the Super Bowl here quite spectacularly. There are quite a few players in here that we started out with, such as Dan Moore Jr. here, 25 years old, and I'm sure that he would be progressing further. He's a very solid choice at left tackle. Next to him, we've got Elijah Vera Tucker, who we did bring in. He was just too good to pass up on. But behind him, if we wouldn't have gotten him, Kevin Dotson is there, 27 years old. Very, very viable option at left guard. I do believe that bringing in Jason Kelce made the world of a difference in giving Kenny Pickett more time in the pocket. Having an experienced center really is such a game changer. I do feel like Kendrick Green would be improving, and I would keep this setup for the future. To be honest, I'd keep Jason Kelce. If we could afford him, we would have to wait, of course, and then behind him develop Kendrick Green. And when Jason Kelce retires, then we can always slot Green into the central position. Right guard James Daniels also was there from the beginning. It's always great when you can develop the players that are initially there. 91 overall star depth trade. We've got Paris Johnson Jr., fantastic already. 82 overall, 22 years old. He will only be getting better, our draft pick. And tight end is Pat Frymouth. He's a 25 now, 91 overall. I mean, what should I say? He's just going to be getting better and better. Chase Claypool as wide receiver 2, 26 years old, 92 overall. And Deontay Johnson, 28, 96 overall. And a superstar depth. Behind him, George Pickens on the other side. We've got another pick. We've got Marvin Mims. That's just absolutely fantastic. The wide receiver core is really set for the future. Najee Harris, he is 26. The next 4 years, 5 years are set at halfback position. And Kenny Pickett at the age of 26 at a 94 rating. And he will only be getting better and better and better. Look at those accuracy stats. Throw power could be improved, awareness, throw and run, play action under pressure, and then everything's in the 90s. And then you can focus on all the other attributes. But he's already so good. Nothing really to add there. Let's just take a quick look at his stats. He threw for 3,997 yards this season, 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 33 sacks. So the sacks have gone down. That's the improvement that you can see. Also, the completion rate has gone up by 6%. That's very positive. Apart from that, looking pretty solid. I don't think that he will be changing too much here over the time. Defense was always the strong point to start out with this team. Minkah Fitzpatrick, superstar depth trait, 99 overall, and 27 years old. He will be there for 3 more years for sure at that level. Then we have Alex Highsmith, 89 overall. He's also young. Devin Bush is young. Miles Jack is young. He seems to have lost his... was he Superstar X Factor? No, I don't think so. He was Superstar. TJ Watt, of course, he is aging, of course, 29 overall, so he might go down, but he's still at 99. So you've got quite a few years until you really need to act. Strong safety, Ronnie Harrison Jr., 27 years old, 91 overall. I think that this was a game changer, bringing him in. That really improved that position and made the safety so much more dangerous. The corners, another area where I'd like to take credit for rebuilding them. Michael Ojemudia as the starting corner, and on the other side we have Kili Ringo, 21 years old, 83 overall, also star dev, and these two corners are really, really very good. Behind them we've got a solid core of backup cornerbacks, so that's secured. At right edge, we have Josh Sweat, who seems to have gone down in depth trait, but he's still at a 90 overall. We've got Deshaun Hand behind him, so a solid right edge situation right there. On the left-hand side, we've got Greg Johnston, also very, very solid player right there. Can improve, of course, but he is 24 years old. He's 83 already and a star dev trait, so will be improving quite quickly. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this quick and dirty rebuild of the Pittsburgh Steelers with Kenny Pickett and all the other rookies from the 2022 draft as much as I did. I really enjoyed it. It was great fun. This team starts out so good, and you can get it to such high scores in such a short time. Really enjoyed it a lot. I hope you liked it. If you did, please drop me a like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you for watching, and see you next time.